I'm Brian Davies. I work with my brother Gordon Davies in the business of W. Davies and Sons. We have been working together for approximately 60 years, it might be 70. The business was started in 1850, where my grandfather ran the business until 1914-15, when it was taken over. It was part of the Duke of Sutherland's estate, but he worked independently of that, and they rented the business off him. My father built Welsh wagons, he was a wheelwright and a village undertaker, which he made a lot of special coffins for the local people. My brother also helped him on that, and that carried on to the war. And in 1940, he didn't go into the army. He had to be kept here because he was a village wheelwright. And he carried on till about the 1950s, I think it was, something like that. And my brother and I took over the business. And from then, we carried on building lorry bodies, cattle containers, and all general joinery, anything we could make a living at.
I'm Gordon Davies. I was born in the house I live in, just down the road, family house. I left school at 14. I should have gone till I missed the 15, stopping at school till 15 by a couple of 3 days. But my father had me up in the workshop working at 14.
We've had quite an experience of different types of work. We had a small holding where we had 4 cows, which we had to milk before we went to school in the morning and when we came back at night. Father was a very hard taskmaster. If you were making something, you hadn't made it right. I remember making a window and it was just 1/8 inch out. He'd cut it up and start again. And I didn't really like it at the time, but I can see why he did it, so you never did that thing again. We had quite a hard background. We did all sorts of things, but in actual fact, it's kept us in good stead. And being at the age we are now, this is rather very nice to be able to come into the workshop from my house next door, which I built in 72, and you come in and out, and it's great. Although my wife doesn't like me going in too much, so I have to come back in the workshop again.
Like I say, came back to the village in the father's workshop and worked with him, making wheels for a start, wooden wheels, pig troughs, cattle troughs, carts, and as slowly it changed from the wooden wheels to stuff coming out the army, and there were plenty of rubber wheels about. And we started putting the rubber wheels on the carts and putting a drawbar for a tractor to pull the cart. That turned eventually into lorry body making, as well as doing general joinery in the village, like windows, doors, that sort of stuff. Then in the army for a couple of years and a bit of time on AER after. And I've been in the business ever since.
My brother and I have worked together for quite a long time, probably 60 years, but what happened, we had to branch out. My brother went into a brick firm as an engineer, and I carried on with a person called Ron here, and we worked here for the next 40 years it was. Now my brother's come back into the business. He's in the business, he was in the business, but he's come back in and working in the workshop. But it's rather difficult for a start because he does everything different than me. So that was quite a bit awkward to get on, but I think we're getting into it now. I mean, we're both getting on a bit. He's 85 or whatever it is, and I'm 83. but we're still going strong, and hope to go on strong for quite a long time. We've got a fantastic setup here, and it's very nice to come out the house in the morning, come into the workshop and get on with some work.